I don't know if I even have a reason to talk anymore. I just had the biggest feeling of my life. I didn't know what to call it. I felt really bad all of a sudden for everything I've ever done in my life. As if probably it's true, I've never really felt bad for doing the bad things I do in my life. I mean, I guess I say I feel bad and I pretend like I feel bad, but like I actually felt really bad for everything I did. I can't say it was anything more than that. It was just like a guilt trip that I actually felt. Like I felt it. I think everything else I've been feeling, if I felt bad about it, I didn't mean it. Like I really felt bad and I couldn't get out of it. I don't know if I regretted something and I had never regretted something before and that's how you feel when you admit that you regret something. I that's what it was. And I'm telling you, if you make a mistake, observe the fact that you made the mistake, admit it's wrong, but I suggest for yourself, do as much as you can to let yourself forgive yourself, but I don't care how bad it is. Don't regret it. Don't regret. I think I just felt regret. It was bad. Oh man. I'm okay now, but I don't want to go back there. I it I feel like right now I'm worse than I was before because I fought the feeling off when it wasn't going away. I had to, like, it took a long time for it to pass, and it didn't, like, just lift itself off. Like, I had to dig myself, like, I had to, I was feeling so bad that I actually had to tell myself, I don't feel bad, even though I knew I should feel bad, and it made it feel worse because I had to cheer myself up, and it like, don't regret anything. Don't 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 let yourself get the better of yourself. Know what's right from wrong and actually stick to it. Don't find yourself in situations where you're always knowing what's the right thing to do, but it never happens. Don't let yourself lose like that. Give it as much as you can to just do the right thing. It's not always the easiest thing, but when it hits you, the thing is, you'll think about one or two things you did wrong, and the first thing will last the whole time. And when you think you finally concluded that bad thought, you think, I've done worse than that. And then now you're stuck. Now you can't get out because it's a truth. you have done worse things than that. I'm going to be honest with you. I made a video about the time I threatened someone that that made me feel really bad, and I didn't know why I did it. But truth of the matter is, even on top of that, I've yelled at my mom, and I never felt that kind of sadness that I should felt, because my mom would always let it go in a sense. But the fact that I even did that and I didn't feel bad about that made it so much worse. I was like, I'm never gonna get out of this. Because I couldn't let myself feel good for a second. It was like, I shouldn't be feeling good right now. Out of all the bad things I've done in my life, there is no reason why I should feel happiness for a second. I sin. Like, I'm not a good person. Even though my whole life I've told myself I'm a good person. I want to believe I'm a good person. And even though I'm talking about how I've been a bad person, I can still say I have been a good person too. But that's not what this is about. When you make a mistake, it better be a mistake. Don't take the easy way out. Crime does not pay. I literally just gave myself the worst guilt trip I could have ever felt. It's like whenever someone else tries to bring me down for doing something wrong, I always block it out. Because I feel like I have a reason to be a bad person at times, and because I'm a good person at times, it's like the times that I'm bad, it doesn't matter. You know, I don't have to pay for those parts of my life because I have an excuse to be a bad person, or for whatever reason, I didn't feel bad for actually doing it. You will feel bad. It will come. There's going to be a time where it just comes all out. I don't know. I felt that. I'm a bad person. I have to admit, I have done bad things in my life. And I don't know if I was faking it when I really felt bad, or it wasn't enough, or for whatever reason, I had to feel it like really extreme just now. And I think it's because I admitted that it was a regret. And you hear people say, don't have regrets. So I don't. But for some reason, I told myself, okay, this thing, I'm going to go against the book, and I'm going to say, I regret this. Don't do that. I don't regret anything. I'm not going to regret anything. You know what? I can't feel that bad again. I can't do it. Because I couldn't get myself out of it. Like, I deserved it because I did bad things, but I didn't know. I wasn't covered for that. I didn't. No, no. You know what? To anyone I've done wrong to, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Yo, someone, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yo, don't don't do bad things. They come back. And the thing is, see, I know I was worse than most people. Some reason I thought I had an excuse. I always gave myself the excuse that I shouldn't have been giving myself. I don't want to feel that way again. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I am going to do everything I can to make sure I do the best possible thing for myself that I can do. Don't regret anything. If you make a mistake, if you do something wrong, you did it. Just don't regret it, because I think that's what it was. If you do something wrong, you did something wrong. You justified a reason to do it wrong. I'm not saying you should do stuff that's wrong, because you shouldn't, but I just felt so bad. Oh man. And it got worse. After that, after I felt bad about the thing, I thought there's another thing that I've done that was even worse than that I didn't feel any pain for. And right now, I'm realizing that. And it's like, how do I pay that back? And that's when I was really stuck. I was already stuck when I felt bad. But now that I knew this, it's like, okay, oh man. Like, it felt like I was going to hell. Like, I couldn't snap out of it. And then it lasted for a while. Not as long as the first bad thing that I was thinking. But even after that, I thought of even a worse thing that I've done. And at that point, I did all that I could. I forced myself to just not feel it. And I clicked a song on YouTube and I listened to it. Don't regret anything. Don't give yourself the reason to regret anything. Don't don't do bad things. You think you can do bad things, and just because you know nothing will happen, that nothing needs to happen. And you'll think nothing will ever come of it. So that's why you can do those bad things. I don't know if my life is about to get so much worse because, like, I have to pay for all these sins that I've been denying. Like, I refuse to feel bad about. because it's scary. It could happen. You know what? I just opened my eyes. And you can't take them back. After you did that, there's nothing you can tell yourself that'll make it better because it's already done and it's in the past. It sticks. It's gonna hurt. And you know what? If you did it to someone else, it's gonna come back to you. And to think, I've done a lot of bad things to people. I'm not trying to say like I'm the worst person in the world, but I have a tendency to forgive myself rather than feel bad. And I wasn't used to it. Every time I thought I was right, like I was feeling bad the way I was supposed to, I wasn't. I was just putting on a face, and I was expecting it to pass, as it always did. I had a feeling I couldn't escape from. Like, it was so bad. And I can't help but think that's just like the beginning of it. Because you know what? I never felt like that bad in my life for doing anything. And the fact that I just felt it at this moment, even though I hadn't necessarily done that specific bad thing, at this moment, it's just like I had to feel it. My body was telling me, like, it's coming out now. It's got to be felt. But don't... I'm telling you, if you make a mistake, make sure it's an honest mistake. Don't go around getting yourself out of shit just because you think it's better for yourself. It's better probably just to face it up front. You can't push it to the back. And you probably think I'm talking about like sad feelings, covering up sad feelings. I'm talking about a feeling that I got just thinking about how I always thought I wasn't that bad of a person. I actually thought I was a good person, like at least a decent person, an average person. But the way I felt, it didn't make me, like, it totally denied that thought that I've always had for myself in my entire life. It totally blocked it. And the only reason I can somewhat still think it right now is because I don't want to feel that bad feeling that I just had. Like, even if I deserve it, I didn't know it was that harsh. You know what? Frick. Oh, man. I don't know. It might be because maybe I might be just making an excuse for myself right now, but like I feel like if someone that I think does something bad to me, that I think is bad to me and I didn't deserve, I'm able to like brush it off like no problem, right? And that somewhat allows me to kind of do bad things to other people, thinking that they're just going to brush it off like I always do. But maybe they don't. Like, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. You can't just be thinking about yourself all the time, trying to cheer yourself up and be in the best possible mood that you can possibly be every time. Because you know what? You're hiding. You're not really being your true self. You have to face the fact You have no excuse to be a bad person. I don't care who you are. I don't know if you shouldn't be a bad person. We know that. I didn't think I was that bad of a person, but don't regret anything. Don't regret anything. I'm not going back to that. I can't do that. And the hard part for me is, I always give myself this excuse when I want to forgive myself. I always tell myself, oh, well, I'm going to feel that way now for however long, but there is the possibility I could forget that feeling and I could mistakenly do that same thing I did wrong the first time. I could do it again. But I'm telling myself right now, yo, don't make that excuse. Don't make any excuse. I don't know how this video is going to make you feel. Like, I really believe if you feel that I'm a bad person for something I did to you, it's probably justified. Because you know what? I always thought that if I did something bad, it's because I knew that person might have deserved it, or for whatever reason I did it, but there's no reason to be a bad person. You can be a bigger person than you need to be. There's no reason to be a bad person. And I find myself saying this same excuse in my head. I feel this way right now, but I know I have a tendency to forget things that I don't want to remember. See, like something like this is something I don't want to remember because I'm admitting I'm a bad person. I don't want to admit that. No one wants to admit that. I thought I was a good person, at least a decent person. But like I just broke myself down with just 3 separate thoughts. And to think I have probably done so much more wrong on top of that, I don't know. I don't know. You gotta be careful. It could hit you at any moment. Like I never thought I would guilt trip myself like that. I couldn't snap out of it. And you know what? I don't know. I don't want to feel that way again. So please, if there's anyone who hears this, like if I hurt you in any way, I wasn't I, I wasn't justified. There's no reason to hurt anyone. And I am begging for your forgiveness. I honestly feel like I am paying the burden for each and every single thing I've ever done wrong in my life all at once right now. And I can't snap out of it until I get forgiveness. I can mask it. I can tell myself I'm a good person. I can at least think I'm a decent person. That's what I'm doing, you know. I honestly feel I'm a decent person right now, but I know I've done bad things. So does that really make me a decent person? I feel like a decent person, but I gotta admit I've done bad things. I just don't I don't want to feel that way again. I can't help but think like I might I might deserve more even than what I couldn't even handle. I couldn't handle it. Like I had to like forgive myself when I knew I can't forgive myself because it's already been done. And that's up to the person that I've hurt or the people that I've hurt to forgive me first. And even then still, I should still feel bad about it. It's like I just have a new appreciation for wanting to be a good person. And the thing is, I always thought I already was. And that's somewhat what's letting me kind of forgive myself now. But I know that's not up to me to forgive myself. When I was younger, I was a punk teenager. Like, maybe I had what I thought was a good reason to be mean to someone. Maybe they were mean to me. But the fact of the matter is, just because someone's mean to you doesn't mean you can be mean to them. It doesn't. Because you know it's wrong still. So you're just making yourself just as bad as that person. That doesn't solve anything. You have to be a bigger man. And you have to just not do the wrong thing. No matter if someone provokes you to do it. And I could be using that as an excuse. There's times I'm the provoker. I could blame that on alcohol. I could blame that on just maybe not getting something my way and just being in a generally not good mood and taking it out on someone else when I shouldn't. Thing is, you gotta be nice around the clock. Don't give yourself any reason to have a regret. If a million bad things happen to you and you have one opportunity to take that out on someone else, don't even take that one opportunity. Hold it in still. There is, like, don't give yourself a reason. There's no reason to fight back. There's no reason to argue. Don't have a regret. Don't regret. I think, don't regret anything. But then again, don't give yourself a reason to regret anything.